So we often carry around this heavy belief that failure is final, that a misstep or a mistake or a moment of weakness has sealed our fate. But here's the truth. Most failure isn't fatal and most mistakes can be corrected. The real power lies not in avoiding every stumble, but in giving yourself permission to begin again, right? To restart. We have to realize that the path to success will be paved by our mistakes. When building my company, Botanical Alignment, I made a ton of mistakes. I figured out how not to do everything. That's part of the learning process. And we don't wait for the new year to start creating a new path. We don't have to. We can recalculate the path we're on. We can hit reset at any moment, this very hour if you choose, heck, this very minute. When we realize that change doesn't require perfect timing, only a decision, we can free ourselves from the prison of procrastination. So think of it this way. If you trip while walking, you don't just lie on the sidewalk for the rest of your life, right? You stand back up, you brush yourself off, and you take another step. Why treat our goals, our habits, and our dreams any differently, right? That stumble or trip up is only temporary. Failure isn't a full stop. It's feedback. Every mistake contains valuable information about what didn't work and what might work next time. Thomas Edison famously says he didn't fail 10,000 times when inventing the light bulb. He discovered 10,000 ways it wouldn't work. Each attempt brought him closer to the one that did. In our own setbacks, they can be reframed the same way. They are not indictments of our worth, but experiments with data attached, right? So in my last video, I talked about the myth of destiny. Many people secretly believe they're just the way they are, or maybe not secretly, but subconsciously believe they're just the way they are. They could be bad with money or inconsistent or unmotivated or unlucky, but identity is more fluid than we thought. Every decision that we make, each action that we take is a vote for who we're choosing to become. Every time we restart, whether it's recommitting to our health, our relationships, our career or business, we are casting a fresh vote for a new vision of ourselves. We're not trapped by our past decisions. We are freed by our present ones. It takes courage to say, I'll try again. Because our pride or our ego whispers that restarting is a proof of weakness. But in reality, it's proof of resilience. To start again, even after repeated failure, is an act of strength. You know, I've heard on one of Jack Canfield's courses that the average millionaire has been bankrupt 3 times. So those people went bankrupt and then they started again and they kept going and they went bankrupt again and they kept going. It's about resilience. Resilience isn't about never failing. It's about never staying down. And if you need permission, take this to heart. You are allowed to restart. You're allowed to close the gap between who you've been and who you're choosing to be. You're allowed to take a breath, wipe the slate clean, and begin again right now. Because most failure isn't fatal and most mistakes can be corrected. And the story of your life is still being written. One choice, 1 hour, 1 minute, one new beginning at a time. FAIL is an acronym. First attempt in learning. And then you make the next attempt and the next attempt and the next attempt. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe because I'm going to be creating a whole bunch more content based on my book, The Liberated Mind. And then if you're in sales, I have a new book, The Liberated Mind for Sales Mastery, and you can download it for free at liberatedmindsales.com.